the spot, bringing stats like a kingpin. MMA knowledge needs his nephews all lean in. Breaking down fights, codes that daddy's supreme on. Just a tip show, he's cooking up a dream. Uncle Weezy, he the man. Dropping fight facts, got it all on hand. He the stat attack grand. MMA guru, more than just a fan. Wanna know the numbers? Weezy got them cataloged. From the fighters reach down to how many times they dog. Just a tip living, breaking it down slick. Hit you with the knowledge, won't miss a single trick. Uncle Weezy, he the man. Dropping fight facts, got it all on hand. He the stat attack grand. MMA guru, more than just a fan. Balls deep predictions, he be making those calls. Getting in the details, opponents feeling small. From jabs to takedowns, got the whole fight ID. Uncle Weezy spitting truth, no lie, keep it G. Blow the horn, blow the horn. Stat Daddy Weezy not showing no scorn. Fight night kingdom, he wearing the crown. Break it down for the peeps, never looking like a clown.
Oh, yes. What's going on, everybody? It is Friday afternoon. We've got UFC Vegas 105 headlined by Josh Emmett and Laron Murphy coming up tomorrow evening. And there are 12 fights left. We lost Davey Grant versus Daniel Santos. Santos with an illness, didn't even try to weigh in. So we're down to 12 fights now. And I think it's going to be a really fun card. These are some really exciting matchups on this card. A lot of them are lower level. A lot of them are, fighters that aren't as popular necessarily, but I think the matchmakers did a phenomenal job on this card. So I'm really looking forward to breaking this one down with you guys here. I'm going to do a full card breakdown for you. That's real quick. I'm going to give you guys my dog pick of the week. I'm going to give you Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week. And I'm going to give you guys a Greasy 4-leg parlay that's got some meat on the bone this week. We're going to try to cash everything this week because last week we went over 3. Ass shaving of the week, Drew Dober, failed. Dog pick of the week, Austin Hubbard was so close, man. One mistake with like a minute and a half left in the third round cost him the fight after he completely dominated the second round and completely dominated the first 3 minutes of the third round. That one fell off, and then the Greasy 4-legger had Austin Hubbard in there, so we lost that one as well because actually Dober was in there too. So yeah, rough week last week, but we still profited 2.94 units on the tracked bets. So I was happy to at least come out with a winning week, continue the winning streak. I think we're at 4-week winning streak right now on the tracked bets. The picks have been solid. The odds shopper community has been growing. And if you want to become a part of it, the link is in the description of the video. $25 a month gets you access to all my tracked bets, which have been on fire. 30% return on investment so far in 2025. We're up like 26 units or something like that. The UFC predictions tracker has got me at number 1 on return on investment on all of my picks over the last 10 months. So join the community. Come along with us here. And unless you hate money. If you hate money, I understand, But if you like money, join us, because I like money too. And I like continuing to put in the work and have it reap these rewards. So I encourage you guys to come along with me. I'm going to share my screen with you here. I've got my stats up. I am ready to go talk about these fights. That was the Grant Santos fight up there. That one is gone. And I'm going to take you through a full card breakdown here. And we are going to, give you the dog pick, the ass shaving, all that stuff. But if you want access to the content that comes out earlier in the week, on Wednesday evening, I do a show called Balls Deep Breakdowns where I do a full card breakdown that takes about 2 hours where I read through my fight notes, all of my fight write-ups. We look at the betting lines. We look at striking, grappling, strength of schedule, advantages and disadvantages of both fighters, recent trends, money lines, how those money lines have moved, what the recency bias is on fighters, career trajectories, all that stuff. It's all included in the fight write-ups. So we get a lot more detailed breakdowns on these fights than what you're going to see today. Let me bring my Tapology page up here. And let's see. 12 of 13 picked. There we go. And yeah, we're going to take you through these fights one by one. And we'll start with the first fight of the night, which is Vanessa Demopoulos versus Talita Alencar. This one is very close to a pick'em. I'm going with Vanessa to win this fight. Talita has got horrible conditioning and really bad wrestling, but you don't need to have good wrestling to get Vanessa Demopoulos down to the ground. Her takedown defense is pitiful. And I do think that Talita is probably going to have some early success here taking Vanessa down and holding her down because it's extremely easy to do. And Talita has the necessary jiu-jitsu skills to stay safe from Vanessa's submissions while on top. But I do think that while this fight is on the feet, Vanessa is going to be landing the bigger shots. And I think that she's got the much, much better cardio. She's a lot more experienced. She's fought the much better brand of competition. I think if she's smart, if Vanessa's smart, she's going to really focus on stopping the takedowns here, on making Talita work really, really hard to get her to the ground. And if she can do that, I do think that Vanessa can win this fight. She's probably going to win it by decision, but I don't mind if fight doesn't go to decision. Bet here at around plus 300. I think that Talita could gas out and Vanessa could get a late finish. She hits very hard on the feet. And I think that Talita, being the elite Brazilian jiu-jitsu player that she is, could potentially get a submission early in this fight when both ladies are dry. And if Talita does get an early takedown, we could potentially see her get a back take and find a finish as well. But yeah, I'm going with Vanessa by decision here for this fight. The next fight is Martin Budai versus Yurin Saltabaldiev. I don't even know who this dude is. And I don't know how the hell. And I was like, how the hell do you name your kid Urine? I mean, what the fuck? I mean, that's your kid. Why would you name it Urine? It makes absolutely no sense. I even mentioned it to Brady, but then Brady told me it's not his real name. They just call him that because he beats the piss out of his opponents. But I've never seen him fight. So I was just like, holy shit, can you imagine naming your kid Urine? But evidently, like I say, they call him that as a nickname because he's a tough fighter. I don't know who the fuck this guy is. I know he's an LFA guy. I've seen him with a similar hat to a lot of the Kyrgyzstani fighters. So I'm guessing he's from Kyrgyzstan. Yeah, Kyrgyzstan. He's from Osh City, Kyrgyzstan, and he's from the Ulu Kyrgyz team. So, but I don't know who the fuck this guy is. I've never seen him fight, so I have no pick for this fight. Next fight is going to be Victor Hendry going up against Pedro Falcao. I've got Victor Hendry winning this fight by decision. Minus 207-ish on the money line. Falcao around plus 175. Fight doesn't go to decision. Big plus money here, plus 185. Falcao is a grade A crotch sniffer. He is going to go out there and shoot takedown after takedown after takedown after takedown after takedown. He's not comfortable on the feet. But Victor Hendry's got really good takedown defense. He's got an excellent get-up game, and he's got excellent conditioning. So I think that he's going to stuff a lot of these takedowns. I think he's going to be landing the bigger shots on the feet. And I don't think he's going to be able to I don't think Falcao is going to be able to win a bunch of minutes on top here because Victor is very experienced. He's fought the much better brand of competition. And he's been in there against some guys like Barcelos, like Hanayaya, like Tony Gravely. It's not like he hasn't been in there against better wrestlers than Falcao. Falcao more of a Brazilian jiu-jitsu player, but he is going to move forward. He's going to use his strikes to set up the entries on his takedowns, and he is going to work to get this fight to the ground. So I see this one kind of being a really grimy scramble fest, clinch fest. But I do see Victor Henry getting his hand raised here and winning this fight by decision. The next fight, Loma Lukbunmi versus Estela Nunez. You got Loma as a giant favorite here over Estela. Estela looked pretty good on the scales. She's been out for about 1 year and 8 months now, though. Gruesome arm injury where she dislocated her elbow against Victoria Dudikova last time out. Estela was not a good UFC fighter prior to what I consider to be pretty much a career-ending injury for a striker. So, I think this line is actually accurate where it is. I'm not the type of gambler who gets in the habit of laying minus 750 on a women's strawweight favorite when they mostly go to decision, but I do think Loma's going to win this fight. And I think that potentially she might be able to get it done inside the distance here. I think Estella's career is most likely over, especially at the UFC level. And I don't even know if she's going to be getting wins on the regional scene anymore. So this is Luke Boonmi, and I think she's probably going to find a finish later on in this fight because Estella never had good cardio to begin with. And now she's on a 1 year and 8 month layoff. There had to be some serious reconstruction of the arm, a lot of physical therapy. I don't even know how much she's been training, for this fight. So got to go with Loma Luke Boonmi to get her hand raised here, but I will not be betting on that fight. Next fight, Reese McKee versus Daniel Frunza. We got McKee winning by decision in this fight. I think McKee's just faced a much better brand of competition. He's a lot more experienced, a lot taller, a lot longer, excellent conditioning, excellent durability, excellent output. I like a lot of what Reese McKee does. He hasn't found success at the UFC level yet. 0-4 record up here at the UFC, but whenever he goes back to the regional scene, he shows that he can finish fights. He shows that he can put on a pace. He shows that he can outlast his opponents. So Frunza making his debut out of Romania, now lives and trains in the United States. This guy's got a bunch of power. He's going to move forward. He's going to throw a big right hand. He's going to throw a big right kick. And if he lands, it's going to be trouble because the guy's got really heavy hands. But the grappling game, not great. He's got solid takedown defense. He's got solid conditioning. He's got solid durability. I think Frunza is going to be a real meat and potatoes type of fighter who's going to be very predictable in terms of how he's going to go out there and get his offense. But I do think that Reese is going to outlast him, outvolume him, use his movement, use his length and reach advantages here to score more points on the fence, to score more points at distance striking range. I think he's going to mix in some grappling here to win some minutes on the cage against Daniel and potentially try to get some takedowns and get some top control. I don't think McKee's going to find a finish. I think Frunza's conditioning has always been excellent. I found him to be a pretty durable guy, and he's faced some solid competition in LFA. So I think that this is Reese McKee. Reese McKee by decision is the pick. And that's the first underdog that I'm picking for today. Next fight, Belbiter versus Barbosa. I mean, I'm going with Diani to win this one by submission in round one. Like I was saying, Diana Belbita getting submitted by Molly McCann has blown out this line so bad. I mean, it's ridiculous. Guys, don't parlay Barbosa at minus 1,100. It's stupid. I mean, like Diana Belbita, Diani Barbosa could make more money throwing this fight than she could fighting for the next three, fighting her ass off. She could go out there and just put money on Diana Belbita at plus 775 and make more money, over the next year than she would if she had fought 4 times and got 4 win checks, because this is a ridiculous line right now. There's a whole shit ton that could go wrong when lines get blown out like this. Look at Wang Kong versus Gabriela Fernandez. Look at Maria Agapova versus Shanna Dobson. When women's favorites get to be this big, I would just recommend playing the dog or staying away. Diana Belbita by decision is plus 1,000. Diana Belbita's money line is plus 775. This is ridiculous. The pick is Barbosa by submission in round one because Belbita's never had good takedown defense and she's never had good submission defense. And Diana Barbosa's got really good judo, and I think she's going to be able to get this fight to the ground and find the submission. The next fight was going to be Grant versus Santos. That is off. The next one is going to be Luis Garule making his UFC debut up against Ode Osborne. I've got Garule winning by KO in round 3. Not a believer in Ode Osborne. I think this is a bad matchup for Ode. Ode kind of needs somebody that's going to stand in front of him, is going to let him control the range, the distance, and the pace of the fight. Garule doesn't let anybody do that. He's going to stay in your face. He's going to make you fight him. He's not the biggest flyweight. He's not the longest flyweight, but he makes up for those size challenges by using pressure, by having excellent conditioning and excellent output. So he's able to walk forward, stay in his opponent's face. He's got the necessary wrestling to not only stop his opponent's takedowns should they shoot on him, but to also get back up when he does get taken down and to mix in some offensive wrestling in his own right. So this guy Gurule has been a pro for less than 3 years, you guys. Less than 3 years. And he's racked up 10 wins, and he's making his UFC debut tomorrow. So this guy has come a long way in a very short period of time. It looks like the talent's there. It looks like the skill set is there. And I think he's going to kind of just work Osborne. I think he's going to march him down and beat him either late in this fight or win a dominant decision with his volume and with his output. So I'm going with Luis Gurule to finish this one late via KO in round 3. The next one is going to be Torres Finney versus Robert Valentin. I've got Torres Finney winning this fight by decision. I think that, the takedowns are going to be free. Robert Valentin couldn't stop a takedown if his life depended on it. And Torres is explosive. He's athletic. He's strong. So he's going to be able to get in on Valentin's hips whenever he wants to. Valentin is going to be threatening with submissions from the bottom. And I really do think that Valentin might get finished here as well, because Torres is going to be on top of him a lot. And it just looks like there's a ton of quit in Valentin. If things aren't going his way, especially if he's getting wrestled like he did in the Salamov fight, like he did in the Loader fight. He got finished in the 3rd round of the Ibo Aslan fight. If he's not the one controlling the pace or winning the fight, he's going to look for that door before the bell rings. So I could see Finney getting takedowns in round 1, looking good, getting a takedown in round 2, and maybe just Valentin saying, you know what, this is either going to go on for another 8 minutes, or I can just cover up and let him ground and pound me until the ref steps in. I don't have a lot of faith in Valentin right now, but at the same time, Finney is a debutante. He's like 5'7" as a middleweight here. So Torres still has a lot to prove up at this level, but they're giving him a Euro trash grappler with no takedown defense. So this is the perfect matchup for Torres Finney to continue exactly what he's been doing on the regional scene and on Dana White's Contender Series, and that's use that athleticism, use that power, use that wrestling to win the minutes and the moments of the fight and get his hand raised. And I think that's what's going to happen here. Torres Finney by decision, but I would not be surprised at all with the Torres Finney finish in any of the 3 rounds of this fight. But Valentin does have real power on the feet. So Torres has got to be real careful not to walk onto a knee, not to walk onto a big elbow, walk onto any big strikes here. But I still think that even if he does, he probably still takes Valentin down because the takedown defense is just that bad. Next fight is going to be GM3 going up against Brad Tavares. These lines are moving quite a bit. I got Gerald Meerschaert earlier in the week at plus 215. Now he's sitting at about plus 150 here. Tavares, the favorite. This is a good fight. I think these guys are pretty well matched in the striking. I think that the striking exchanges are going to be very close in this fight. I just didn't understand the line because I was thinking to myself, like, when was the last time Brad Tavares looked minus 250 against anybody that wasn't a 43-year-old washed man on one leg? And that's Chris Weidman. And I think you'd have to go back to the Antonio Carlos Jr. fight maybe. And like, even then he just kind of stuffed takedowns. It's not like he beat the shit out of Antonio Carlos Jr. So, the Tavares distance striking ability, while he's fast, he's accurate, he's meat and potatoes, he hits pretty hard, he's got good defense. He's not separating himself from anybody at distance striking range. And Gerald Meerschaert does still look to be evolving at this point in his career. And I know he's 55 fights deep into his professional career, but he's training at Valley Flow. Prior to that, he was at Kill Cliff. Prior to that, he was at Rufus Sport. He's been switching camps. He's been getting different looks. And the people at Valley Flow Striking are saying that GM3 has added a bunch to their team. He's helped out a lot with their submission grappling. And in turn, he's gotten a lot more work on his wrestling with guys like Bilal Muhammad that are helping him sharpen that knife that he has in his toolbox that could be the one that really sets himself apart in this division. If Gerald Meerschaert starts going out there and wrestling well, he's going to be very difficult to deal with on the ground. I don't care who you are. So Meerschaert by decision is the pick here. He's never won a fight by decision at the UFC level, and he has 11 wins. But here's the thing, right? Tavares has been knocked out 5 times, right? So Tavares is a little bit chinny, and Gerald does have some power on the feet, but Brad Tavares has never been submitted. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, if Meerschaert wins minutes of this fight with takedowns and clinch control, and he keeps the striking exchanges close, but he's unable to submit to Brad Tavares, then I think the decision, and you could get Gerald Meerschaert decision at plus 800 this week. I think it's actually kind of a live little thing to sprinkle, but I wouldn't be surprised, obviously, if the guy who has 11 wins, all finishes in the UFC, found a way to finish Brad Tavares either with a knockout or a submission. But Meerschaert's my favorite dog pick this week, and I'm picking him to win this one by decision. Cortavius Romeus versus Chang Ho Lee. I got Chang Ho Lee winning by ground and pound knockout in round 3. Romeus showed up 3.5 pounds heavy today. That's unacceptable. As a bantamweight, you can't be missing weight by 3.5 pounds. Not when you're in your second UFC fight and you're 0-1. You're going up against a road to UFC guy and you come in 3.5 pounds heavy, man. That's bad, dude. Cortavius has got to do better than that. I don't know what happened there, but this is a fight that has been on his radar for like 2 or 3 months. So I don't know how he missed weight here. Cortavius's conditioning is something that hasn't looked great. Cortavius's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is very good. Cortavius's power on the feet is something that you don't want this dude landing on you. But I think if Chang Ho Lee can avoid the submissions and can avoid getting clocked with big shots on the feet, I think he's going to be doing more. I think he's going to be pushing way more of a pace. He's got a lot more reliable conditioning, you guys. And that's going to be very important in this fight because maybe Cortavius wasn't putting in the work. 3.5 pounds heavy could be an injury there. There could be a number of things there that are problems. So I think Chang Ho Lee to win. I think Chang Ho Lee round 3 decision. I think a Chang Ho Lee late finish prop, rounds 2 or 3 potentially, could all be worth plays this week. So Chang Ho Lee KO round 3 was the way that I was seeing this before the weight miss. And now even more so, I think we could see Chang Ho Lee really put a pace on Cortavius, make him wrestle early, drain that gas tank early. And if there is some kind of an injury, if there is some kind of a conditioning deficiency here, I think Chang Ho Lee will find it, and that a late finish could be potentially possible here. Next fight, Pat Sabatini versus Joe Anderson Brito. I'm picking Joe Anderson Brito by KO in round 1, but I have a bet on the Pat Sabatini money line. Pat Sabatini's chin is terrifying. You're getting knocked out by Damon Jackson. That is a very, 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 very bad look. If you're getting dropped by the first punch that Jamal Emmers lands on you, that's a bad look. If you're getting dropped, killed by Diego Lopez in the first round after shooting a takedown and missing, it's a bad look. We've seen Pat just not be able to take a punch at this level. But Pat's grappling is fucking phenomenal. This guy has got good wrestling, Division I, wrestling, and he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt and a very, very dangerous grappler. Does very well in grappling competitions outside of UFC. Pat is very dangerous, and Joe Anderson Brito is somebody who thus far in the UFC is spending less than 30% of his UFC octagon time in the center of the cage at distance striking range. So when you look for paths to victory for a fighter like Pat Sabatini, you want a fight that's going to be taking place in the grappling realm for 75% of the fight, because that's what you want to see, because you know that Pat's got that chin deficiency. And even against guys that aren't as desperate of grapplers as Pat Sabatini, Brito is out there only spending 27% of his time at distance striking range, while for Sabatini, it's only 21%. So I think Brito, as terrifying as his power is, he's still got to land that big shot. And if he doesn't, I think that there's going to be a high percentage of this fight taking place in the clinch and on the mat. And I favor Pat Sabatini's ability to win minutes and moments on the clinch on the mat. So I'm betting Pat Sabatini here. And, here's the thing. You just got to make peace with the fact that if you lose this bet, Pat might be in a neck brace getting carried out on a stretcher. But it's not me. I'm not the one in the neck brace. I'm not the one going to the hospital. I just lose one unit. And then I'm alive to fight another day. So as bad as this could end for Pat Sabatini, and I think it's a very high likelihood that Joanderson Brito finds a big shot that puts this guy on skates and then finds the finish. But if he doesn't, the longer that this fight goes on, it's going to be easier and easier for Pat to find these takedowns and to advance to dominant positions. And he's probably going to win this fight, by submission or by just a dominant drowning decision where he gets like 13 minutes of control time. So I bet on Pat Sabatini, but the official pick is that Joanderson Brito wins in round 1 by knockout. Which brings us to the main event of the evening. We got Laron Murphy, a pretty big favorite here over the 40-year-old Josh Emmett, who's on a 15-month layoff. I'm going with Laron Murphy by decision, definitely not betting it. I think that Josh Emmett to win. I think the Josh Emmett money line, I think the Josh Emmett KO prop are both fantastic bets this week. This guy's live to knock anybody out, and he's still fighting at a very high level, everybody. So very interesting fight here, but I do think Laron Murphy's going to wrestle. I think he's going to make Josh grapple a little bit. And if he does that, I like Laron Murphy to win by submission at plus 1,900. I played that for a quarter unit. Laron Murphy has 4 submission attempts in 8 UFC fights. Josh Emmett was submitted by Yair Rodriguez just a couple of fights ago from his back with a triangle. I think that if Laron was smart, he would be looking to grapple here proactively, because that way you're not on the feet and you're not worrying about catching that big right hand of Josh Emmett, which could end your night like that. So I think we're going to see Laron grapple here. I think he's probably a pretty decent DraftKings play this week. And I think that he might be live to get a finish by submission here. So I played that submission prop for a quarter unit. But I also do think that Josh Emmett by KO, Josh Emmett just to win on the money line are plays that are at big plus money. He's got a path. He's always got a path because the guy's got crazy power. So, yeah, those are the picks, you guys. Murphy by decision, Brito KO round 1, Chang Ho Lee KO round 3, Gerald Meerschaert by decision, Luis Gurule by KO in round 3, Torres Finney by decision, Barbosa submission round 1, Reese McKee by decision, Loma Lukbunmi submission round 3, Victor Hendry by decision. We got Urin Salta Baldiev. I think, it's not really his first name, Urin. They call him that because he beats the piss out of his opponents. Don't know who's winning that fight because I don't know who Urin is. And then we're going with Vanessa Demopoulos by decision. So that takes us to the second order of business, which is the Bootsy Collins Memorial Dogs Are Barking pick of the week. And it is going to be Chicago's very own Gerald Meerschaert's money line here. It was plus 171 earlier in the week. I got it at plus 215. I'm worried if this fight goes to decision that even if Gerald wins, it's going to be a robbery, because at this point, Vegas really needs Tavares to win. Everybody and their brothers on Meerschaert this line. I don't know who bid Brad Tavares in the year 2025 up to minus 260 on the money line, but it happened earlier this week. And because of that, now Vegas just got punished with a bunch of liability on the Gerald Meerschaert side, plus 220, 210, 200, 190, 180, all the way down to 150 now. So I'm terrified if this fight goes to decision that Gerald's going to get fucked, because Vegas actually really needs a Tavares win right now. But I'm happy because I think Gerald Meerschaert's going to submit this dude. I think he's going to take him down. I think he's going to find a way to submit him, and I think he's going to make it a dominant win in this fight. So not only am I picking Gerald Meerschaert to win this fight and betting on him at big time plus money, I also think that Gerald might be live to get a finish here. And if he doesn't, it could get a little bit greasy because the Vegas always, seems to have a direct line to people like Sal D'Amato and Ron McCarthy when they need a fighter that the market doesn't believe in to win. So, but I'm still going with Gerald Meerschaert as the Bootsy Collins Memorial Dogs Are Barking pick of the week, which brings us to the last order of business of the week. And the problem is that we didn't even know that Kennedy Nzechukwu was going to get sick. So I have to pick a new ass shaving of the week. And I don't love it. It's never the plan of action to have a debutante as the ass shaving of the week. But the thing is, you guys, you fade Euro trash grapplers against good wrestlers, and Torres Finney is a good wrestler. I think that Torres Finney could shoot a double leg here early in the fight, pick up Robert Valentin, and literally throw him outside the cage. I really do. And I don't, this was not, like I said, this was not plan A, you guys. It was going to be Kennedy Nzechukwu over Martin Buday, who's pretty much harmless. And this is different because Robert Valentin is not harmless. This dude, if he hits you square, you're going to be in big trouble. And he's got a pretty good submission game as well from his back. But I mean, like this is such a bad matchup because if you're, a Eurotrash grappler from Switzerland and you can't stop a takedown and you can't get back up when you are taken down, this is just a horrible opponent because it's not even like you're getting some regular human being off of you. This is like somebody dropped a pool table on you and now you got to try to get back up. Torres Finney is literally built like a refrigerator. So if your refrigerator fell on you, what do you think your chances would be of getting up? I mean, what do you think your chances would be of having your rib cage still be intact when it did fall on top of you? So I'm going with Torres, the refrigerator Finney, to shave the ass of Robert Valentin. It might be a decision, but even if it's a decision, he's going to have this slab of marble on top of him for like 13 and a half minutes, and it's not going to be fun to be Robert Valentin. But I do think that Robert might eventually look for the door here. This is one pick that I actually have thought about changing quite a bit since Wednesday night when I originally made the prediction. I was thinking maybe Finney, by KO round 2 or round 3 here might be something I actually make an official change here. But I'm going with Torres Finney to shave the ass of Robert Valentin. You guys, we did it. We made it through a full card breakdown. You guys have got all my picks here. What we need to do now is we need to find a greasy 4-leg parlay that's going to cash with some meat on the bone for us here because we're on a little bit of a cold streak with the greasy 4-legger. It hasn't hit in like 3 or 4 weeks at this point, and I owe you guys one. So I found some spots that I like. We're going to do it on Bet Rivers this week because it's got the best odds, and I'm looking to cash this thing at around plus 650. So leg number 1, we're going to start with a wide line here. We're going to go with the over 2.5 rounds for Victor Hendry versus Pedro Falcao. It's sitting at minus 295 here on Bet Rivers Sportsbook. So we're going to go there to the over 2.5 rounds at minus 295. Falcao's a guy who's going to need to finish by submission, but in order to do that, he's going to need to get takedowns and get to dominant positions. Victor Hendry has got phenomenal takedown defense, a great get-up game, and a really good catch wrestling / Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu attack when he's taken down as well. So I don't see either one of these guys getting a finish. Victor Hendry is somebody who needs attritional finishes and a ton of volume to find knockouts. I don't think he's going to be able to find volume in this fight because he's going to constantly be defending takedowns. So I see this being a greasy, scramble fest, anti-grappling fest and clinch fest that goes the full 15 minutes. So the first leg is going to be the over 2.5 rounds in the Victor Hendry versus Pedro Falcao fight. Number 2, we're going to go with another debutante because it's that kind of a card, you guys. I'd love to have veterans in every pick, but it's just not how it's going to work this week. It is going to be where is the Gurule fight? There it is. It's going to be Luis Gurule to win in round 3 or by decision, because I think that Gurule, his path to a finish here is late. It's with volume, it's with pressure, it's with making Ode Osborne tired. But I also think that it's going to take a while for him to do that because Ode Osborne is so tall, so long, and because he hits hard, it's going to be tricky for Luis to figure out how to close the distance here. So I think maybe he wins this fight by decision, but I think if he does get a finish, it's not coming in the first. And while it might come in the second, I'd much rather pay plus 132 for the round 3 decision prop than minus almost 300 for the money line, when I think that there's almost no round 1 upside here for Luis Gurule. So I'm going with him to get a late finish here. Luis Gurule to win in round 3 or by decision is plus 132. So that's going to really put some meat on the bone of this parlay. And this 2-legger is sitting at plus 211 right now. Leg number 3 is going to be Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week, the Torres Finney money line at minus 295. Like I said, I just think that Robert Valentin has 0 takedown defense. And I don't think that. I know that. I bet on this guy against Loader, and I was like, what the fuck did I do? Some kind of, I don't know, he's talking about he had a broken arm. You don't go into a fucking fight with a broken arm. You don't get so if it happened in the fight, that's his problem. But yeah, even when he had this dude's back and he had him flattened out, he was unable to finish, which is pathetic. That's not a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt underneath you. That's a fucking college wrestler. So, yeah, I'm not a believer in Valentin. The power is obviously a concern early in the fight as Torres tries to find these takedowns. But I think Torres is going to just absolutely manhandle this guy and throw him around like a cheap suit. So, yeah, it's going to be Torres Finney's money line at minus 295 here. That brings our 3-leg parlay up to plus 317. And the 4th leg is going to be the fight doesn't go to decision for Meerschaert versus Tavares. Even though I'm picking Meerschaert by decision, this line is underpriced, in my opinion, at plus 104. Gerald Meerschaert almost never goes to decision in the UFC. And if there's one guy in the UFC that Brad Tavares can still knock out, it's somebody like Gerald Meerschaert, who even when he wins fights, is almost knocked out half the time. So while I think there's a little bit of finish upside on the Tavares side, I'm hearing that Meerschaert is going to be grappling here. I think that he's going to be looking to get takedowns. And I think if that happens, we're going to see this fight finish inside the distance. And we can still hedge out on a fight goes here, or a decision bet for one of these fighters. But yeah, that brings us up to plus 750 on Bet Rivers Sportsbook. So we got a nice juicy 4-leg parlay here that I think hits all the spots. It's got a good payout, and I love that over 2.5 for Henry Falcao. I like Luis Gurule to win this fight late. I think Finney is going to really just dominate in the wrestling exchanges, and I would be really shocked if like Meerschaert Tavares did go the full 15. I think that this is going to be a violent fight that finishes inside the distance. So there we go, you guys. We did it. We've got a greasy 4-leg parlay. We got a dog pick of the week. We got the ass shaving of the week and the full card breakdown. The link to the odds shopper where you can get access to my probability show where we find all the plus EV bets of the week. The fight write-ups that you see here for every fight of the week. In-depth 6 to 7 page write-ups with plenty of detail, favorite bets, striking, grappling, trends. You want access to all my track bets. You want access to the 2 different shows that I do only for my subscribers every week. Probability, the best prop betting show on the net. Balls deep breakdowns. Nobody goes more balls deep when it comes to breaking down fights than your Uncle Weezy. I promise you that. Anybody else who thinks they go more balls deep than me, holler at me. Let's talk about it, because I think you're a bullshitter. All right? I'm the one that goes balls deep. I'm the one that penetrates all the fucking way. And if you guys want to be a part of that, figuratively, okay, join me on the Odds Shopper, because we're fucking these bookies right in the ear holes every goddamn week, because we're putting in the work, because we're putting in the research, because I've got quantitative models, and because I'm watching tape, and because I'm writing out all this, all the trends and everything. We're doing all the necessary work here to stack cashed tickets like flapjacks. So join me, click on that link, become a part of the Odds Shopper crew, join the Discord, get all the track bets, get the fight write-ups, get the 4 hours of content every week, get everything that goes along with it, the spreadsheets that have all of the matchup stats, all of the individual fighter stats. Why won't it load? I was trying to talk fast, and now my computer's fucking me. Over, under betting models, prop betting models, everything that you could possibly imagine. Join us. Join us. We're taking care of business over here. All right, you guys, let's see what's happening in the chat here. I've missed 163 comments from you guys. It's really good to see everybody hanging out in here. Let's see. We got Olajuwon Dream in the room saying, oh, yes. What's up, dude? We got Freddie Fred saying that we are going to be rich. Brendan Knox has been waiting all week for this. We got Jose Loves MMA and Life saying, I'm thinking and waiting for that intro song. We got Scooch Pasucci in the room saying, Weezy. What's up, Scooch? We got Aria saying, Isle. I've been waiting for this. Hello, boys. Good night or day to all of you. We got Mark Frost saying, Santos didn't even turn up for weigh-ins. Unbelievable. We got Adil Abraham. Come on, fat man. Greasy, get on out here with your bootsy shaved Collins ass already. Let's get that cheddar. Oi, my cat is looking at me saying, I'm locked in here. So I'm going to let the cat out. Hang on just a second. All right, come on. Let's go. Let's go. I got you. There we go. All right. We got AJ Worse in the room saying Daniel Santos is a clown. The guy's missed so many fights, you guys. That's one of the things that I talked about in the fight right up for that fight. We go to Grant Santos here when we talk about the recent trends. You know, I was saying that, you know, he's on a 2-fight win streak coming off a unanimous decision win over Johnny Munoz in June of 2023, but he pulled out of scheduled bouts against Daniel Marcos in November of 2023, Said Nurmagomedov in October of 2024. So Daniel's currently on a 1 year and 9 month layoff going into this fight, and against Davey Grant, who fought just 3 months ago. So yeah, I mean, and Daniel only has 3 pro fights over the last 5+ years, and he's on almost a 2-year layoff. So he cannot be considered a hot fighter with a positive career trajectory. That's from my fight notes for this one. So yeah, Daniel Santos, I don't know. He's got to get some help, you guys. Adam DeLuca in the room saying he loves Weezy. Good to see you hanging out in here. We got the Milkman saying Daniel Santos get some help. And we got Milkman saying, come on by to bring the milk for you, Weezy. Just drop some off with Brady. Truly appreciate you, man. I think that Loma Luke Boomy is going to milk Estela Nunez this week. We got AJ Worse saying that Milkman is a leader of men. We got Mike D in the room. We got Sam Samurai in the room saying, "Oi, what's up, Uncle and friends?" One of my Odds Shopper people there. We got Adam DeLuca likes the Emmett decision this week. Abdil likes Emmett. The Olajuwon Dream says he wouldn't mind that. We got my guy Avery in the room, the sponsor of Stat Diggers. Appreciate you, Avery. He is saying, "Oi," and he's saying, "Let's go, lads. Good to see everybody here." And by the way, we've got 260 of yous hanging out live right now. Hit that thumbs up if you don't mind. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what your greasy four-legger is for this week. Let me know what you think of the ass shaving of the week. Just say, oi. I don't care. Love it when you guys comment on the videos, though. We got Brendan saying, I'd lose both my bets if Emmett decision happened. Yeah, sometimes that happens, man. Like if Brad Tavares wins a decision, I get screwed on the Meerschaert money line and on the fight doesn't go to decision. Sometimes that's the way you got to play it. We got Avery is saying, what's up, Olajuwon? We got Michael saying, money now. Let's go. Get your Uncle Weezy some money. Sign up in the link there to the odds shopper. Olajuwon saying, yo, just chilling. We got Alex saying Murphy decision. We got Adam saying plus 650 is just too juicy to pass up. Adil is saying Luke Boonmi, Demopoulos, Hendry, Frunza, Barbosa, Grant, Garule, Finney, Tavares, Budai, Romeus, Brito, and Emmett. Those are the picks. Grayer Davis saying Murphy versus Emmett going to get played out like Edwards versus Diaz. Total domination, but he got rocked once or twice, so people won't care. Yeah, it could be. Pickle Kush saying, I've said it once, I'll say it again. Best intro in the game. Appreciate you, Pickle Kush. We got KY Quackenbush in the room saying Emmett ain't touching him. We got my guy Chris in the room saying, smash that like for the stats guru and MMA OG. Oi, Unc, what's up, Chris? Good to see you hanging out in here, man. And we loving the music, says AJ. We got Avery saying that he's wrapping up some work, tapping in with the crew. Got the music there. That must have been when the entry going on. We got Jack in the room saying, oi, look, Boonmi fight card. Let's go. Banger. Grant fight is off. Yes, Alex. Budai's still getting starched, says Josh. I wish I could agree or disagree with you, but I've never taped urine before. Aria saying, good day, everyone. Remdog saying, oi, what is up, dude? Blowing that horn. We got Forrest saying, oh, have a great weekend, Uncle Weezy. We got Grayer saying, Weezy, is there a bun on the back of your head? Yes, there is. Yeah, it's right back there, man. Definitely always that hair tied back. It's getting a little long. I got to get it cut again. And we got AJ Worth says he likes Torres Finney to shave the ass of Valentine. I'm with you there, man. We got finally catching the GOAT live, says OSCC. What's up, dude? Good to see you hanging out in here. Olajuwon saying Weezy smashing. We got Meatball saying Uncle Weezy the GOAT. Appreciate you, Meatball. We got Avaraj Awashthi saying, man, the Davey fight is off. I know I'm not happy about that, dude. That's for sure. I loaded 4 units on Grant, and now you got it. Well, at least you'll get it back. That's a bummer, though. I hate that when you're convicted enough to put a big bet down and then they cancel the fight. It feels like you had already won the bet. It's wild. Meatball saying Santos pull-out game unmatched. That's for sure. Always live, Kentucky Quackenbush. Always live. This is live. Yes, sir. The High Owl saying, oi. We got Josh saying Vegas fucked up the Grant Santos line so bad they had to make Santos. Sure, Santos didn't show. We got him saying, why is this old ass dude so good at picks? Because I put in the work, brother. Because I put in the work. Actually, Weezy is top 3 of the people I watch. We got True. We got saying I made bank last week and didn't even get to catch most of the fights as I was at a Meshuggah concert. Oh, dude, you like the metal, huh? And couldn't miss that for Moreno Urseg, dude. Meshuggah, dude, they're heavy, man. There is one heavy ass band. He's the best easily in terms of actual analysis. Appreciate that, man. I put in a lot of work into these fight write-ups. I put in a lot of work. Bro gave out losing picks last week and still made profit. LOL, he's a beast. I was pretty good on my picks last week. I think I was 9-3. Was I 9-3? I think it was 9-3. But he's right about ass shaving the week failure. Dog pick of the week failure. Greasy 4-legger failure. So yeah, man, I got Davey Grant at plus 190. Oh my God. That hurts, dude. That hurts. Yeah, I'd be disappointed if I were you too, dude. We got Olajuwon with the laughing. We got getting pissed. We got Salta Badayev just had a war not that long ago. Yeah, that's not good, man. Urine salty balls to shave the ass of fat Budai. Dude, Budai weighed in at 266, man, right there at the limit. He's going to be big, dude. Urine salty balls. Yeah, I know. Great parents. That is just crazy. Urine salty balls. Who names their kid that? That's nuts. Falcao dialed in at weigh-ins and Henry did not. Oh, no. See, this is Josh. Josh has got prejudice against dudes with long hair like me, right? See, he's got that haircut you could set your watch to there, that short hair. You know, while us hippies here, like Victor Hendry and me, we've got this big, beautiful head of hair here, and he thinks that because Falcao has got short hair that he looked dialed in, and Victor Henry, who's out there on the scale looking like he's in Meshuggah, come on, man. You know that Victor Henry looked dialed in, baby. He was ready to go. I think Falcao can get this done. He's going to wrestle his ass off. That is for sure. Not to mention Henry is on the big decline. He is 37 years old. He's getting older. He's got Falcao too, and he's fairly confident. He's going to wrestle. Falcao is going to wrestle. Yeah, me too. We got blah, blah, blah. Who cares about chick fights? Move on. We got Aiden Lewis telling KY to shut up. We got Team Reese. Frunz is a bum, says Josh. I'm on Team Reese too. I've got a bet on him this week. Well, McKee is 0-4 in the UFC, so he's also a bum. 0-4. He is off to that 0-4 start. Underground Capper says that he watched Urin's 4 fights online. Not impressed, to say the least. Budai might be a free square, especially on 1 day's notice and moving up from 205. Yeah, I would have a pick for that fight, guys, if I looked into Urin at all, but I didn't. So I'm just going to leave it blank. I don't have a problem with doing that. I'm on to next week already. He's actually looked really good on the regional scene, and look at the guys he's fought. He's 0-4 against 4 pretty fucking good fighters. Yeah, Hamzat, Morono, Angalusa had to get takedowns in order to win that fight. And then the Chidi fight was a split decision. Who gives a damn about the regional scene, says KY. People who make money doing this and have no UFC footage to use. That's correct. Yeah, I guess the D-gens who can't fight off the urge to bet off every fight on the card. Even if it's a trash fight or bet like McKee versus Frunza or Henry versus Falcao. Why are you here if you're a casual? That's where you find your biggest edges, dude. Get the game. Get with the game, young buck. I was out 34 units last week, and 80% of it was on the undercard. We got Carlos Gomez in the room saying, "Oi!" We got Josh saying, when you bet on the main card against popular fights, you're betting against the better fighters on the card. Yes. Let's see. In January, I had $10 in my betting account. Now I'm at 880, only betting on UFC. Don't call me a casual. Let's see here. Yeah, agreed. Yes, that would be wild, man. Just chill, says Aiden. Finney gonna throw Valentini. I think he could, dude. I think he could just throw him out of the cage, man. It would be wild. If there's one guy that could do that, even at only at 5'6", it's definitely him. We got let's see. I wouldn't be. Let's see. GM3 is sharp, says KY. We got Tavares is washed. He might be. He might not be. We'll see. GM3 is going to break this guy. Average is not going to be putting money on GM3. Club and Sub says Meatball. Sometimes he made me money, but sometimes he screwed me too, says Average. Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't be surprised to see Gerald win a striking-based decision. I wouldn't either, man. I think it could happen, but now that the market has pushed this line so far into the Meerschaert, making Vegas need Tavares, Gerald's probably not winning a decision here. You know, like even if he wins 70% of the fight, the judges are going to give it to Tavares. So, like, I think Gerald's going to need a finish here, or just need to be fucking dominant. Let's see. We got GM3 or Brad. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Gerald's slow, but he can crack. Yeah, he can, man. The fuck is up with the stock market, Weezy? Which fighter's stock will drop after this week? Whose stock will drop? Talita Alencar, I believe. I think her stock's going to drop. I think Romeus's stock is going to drop. And I think potentially Joe Anderson Brito's stock might drop a little bit. Let's see here. We got Tavares does suck these days. Look at his record over the last 5 years. Tavares' good win was against Latus in 2017. We got, I'm not even going to justify that with an answer. If you don't want to get called a casual, don't say shit a casual would say. Using the logic you use, just bet every favorite. Let's see. Sabatini has the fight IQ of a monkey, and he doesn't have a chin. But yeah, let's bet on him. I did bet on him. Dude, just so you guys know, Kentucky KY Quackenbush was here calling me a complete moron because I picked Costa over Rodriguez. And he told me that I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. And I showed him my 7-page write-up. I said, actually, I do know what I'm talking about. Size matters at featherweight. Christian Rodriguez is in the wrong weight class. And I was right. But Sabatini doesn't have the fight IQ of a monkey. You know, this guy is out there winning a lot more fights than he loses at this level. And his most recent loss is to a guy who's fighting for the title next week. So Sabatini does have a shitty chin, but he knows he needs to grapple. And Brito is going to grapple with him. Brito by far has worse fight IQ, but yeah, he doesn't have a chin for sure. Let's see. What KY, you talk so much shit. I mean, like you were here talking shit last week. And you were wrong, and now you're here talking shit again. Yeah, watch both of their fights against JSP. That's right. Watch JSP absolutely drown Brito on the ground, and then watch Brito or watch Pierce absolutely get destroyed by Sabatini. I didn't call you. Let's. Yeah, I'm not going to do with this bullshit here. Let's see here. I can't confirm that. I can't confirm that. I mean, like this, but Josh Emmett's a very durable guy. So, like, you know, Murphy getting a round one finish would be fucking shocking. Yeah, but like this is MMA. There's no such thing as a lock. There's no such thing as 100%. You know, things fucking happen. And what if Josh Emmett's hurt? Right? He's been away for 15 months. He's 40 years old. He might. There's a chance he's showing up for a check. What if he gets clipped with something, or he comes in hurt and something blows out his knee or something? It could absolutely happen. Let's see here. Yeah, I like the Torres Finney to shave ass. I think that's a good look this week for sure. Yes, I got GM3 for sure. Kalani this week. I picked him way earlier in the week. I bet him, I think, either on Sunday night or on Monday for 1.5 units at plus 215. And I even think at plus 150-ish, he's still a good play this week. Josh saying that he thinks he's with me on most of this card. The only fighter that he likes that I don't is Falcao. I'm staying away from the Brito fight, the Alencar fight, and the Romeus fight. Yeah, I've got the action on Sabatini. The Alencar fight, I've got nothing. And the Romeus fight, I'm thinking about just playing a little bit of Chang Ho Lee round 3 at plus 1,600, or maybe a Chang Ho Lee round 3 decision. But I think I might just play a quarter unit on the round 3 prop and maybe look for a late finish from Chang Ho. But if I was betting them straight, I'd lean the dog just for value. Yeah, I hear you. That's the thing. We got Greasy, House of Pain saying Greedy hit last 222. It is due for sure. Yeah, man. Like 222 was the last time we hit. So yeah, shit, man. That's like fucking 5 weeks ago. We definitely need the Greasy to hit this week. Let's see. Joe saying, "Oh, Uncle Weezy the man. I love this show so much. I potentially wait to see this show every week. Best MMA analyst around. Your very own Uncle Weezy." Yeah, we'll see you later. KY, take care, man. We got Olajuwon saying, "Let's go." We cash in. Let's do it. We got Ben saying, "Give your Uncle Weezy money." Just signed up for the Odds Shopper since you always make us money with these lives. Let's cash some plays. Truly appreciate you signing up, Ben. You're supposed to give your Uncle Weezy money. Follow Ben Braden's example here and give your Uncle Weezy money. Click on that link in the description of this video. We got Enlighten My Opinion saying, "Oi, from Illinois, Uncle Weezy. We can't hedge with a plus money 4th leg, so let's just cash it." Yeah, man, I know. It's not the best thing to be able to hedge out with like a minus 120 on the last leg, but still, let's just cash this thing. Got a pretty good number on it at plus 750, so I'm hoping we hit it this week. We got Remdog with the flapjacks. Let's go, man. We got Overlord saying, "Jesus, let's go." Yeah, that's right, baby. We got Muhammad laughing. "What's up, dude? Good to see you hanging out in here." AJ saying, "A leader of men. Let's beat these bookies with a bag of oranges. Let's get it." We got Josh saying, give Uncle Weezy money. We fuck bookies in their fucking ear holes. Let's go, man. Let's go. We've got Maxime Broad saying, what do you think about Badai's new opponent? I have no idea. The only thing I know about him is what Brady told me about him. They call him urine because he beats the piss out of his opponents. But I did not watch. I was already done with all my content and my predictions, and I had to get out the UFC 314 stats. I had to, there was other shit that I needed to do, so I did not look into this guy at all, and I have no prediction on who's going to win the fight. Give your Uncle Weezy money, says my guy Mike D. We got Real Sports Bet Pick saying, I'm wondering if Finney will tap. Well, it'd be hard to submit that guy. Like, the chin is sitting right here at the top of his rib cage. There's no neck. There's only trapezius muscles to choke out. So I don't know, man. It's going to be difficult for this guy to get a submission. But, Valentin is a very aggressive and opportunistic submission grappler. So it is possible. I think Valentin's best path to winning here is going to be a finish, because I think Torres is going to win the minutes with his wrestling. Kital. Yeah. Just watch Heat for the first time. That shit was fire. Dude, that was a long time ago, man. That was De Niro and Pacino, if I remember correctly. Maxime Braun saying, he's a 205er moving up to heavyweight because it's hard to find somebody, that's ready to fight on 2 days' notice. So that's what they got. In the middle of a sweat-free boxing play right now. By the way, on that McKee round 3 decision bet, you can beat that price with a plus 500 decision and plus 1,800 Dutch. Yeah, that would give us what? Let me see. I don't have my Dutch calculator up, but yeah, I think I got 325. So I would probably do a little bit better than that. Let me look here. Let's go with Microsoft Excel. I'm going to bring up my Dutch calculator here. Let's see. That is de facto. So I played the Reese McKee round 3 decision at plus 325. And what Muhammad is saying is that if we play Reese McKee by decision at plus 500, and if we play the round 3 prop at plus 1,800, we could get plus 356 instead of plus 325 if we Dutched it. So that is a good way to get an even better price on that line. Appreciate that, man. We got Ryan Rossellini in the house saying, yeah, what is up, Ryan? Good to see you hanging out in here. We got Hugo Berry saying, how much is your cat weigh? My cat, the one that was in here, fat cat. Like, I don't know how much she weighs, but she's a little chunker. And then her daughter is definitely a lot smaller. She's a kitten. So I think one's like less than 2 years old and the other one's like 6 months old, but probably heavy for a cat. Definitely got a belly on her. We got It's Guzzy saying, should I max bet Garule to not win in round 1 at minus 550 or Murphy to not win in round 1 at minus 1266? This is before you responded to my other comment. I don't like those wide lines. I don't like max betting those kind of lines. It's Guzzy. That's just something that, like, I don't see either of those things happening, but I've seen Garule get a first round knockout with a step in knee before. Like I said, 40-year-old Josh Emmett, 15-month layoff. You never know if there's something going on there. So I wouldn't do either of those personally. Burrito by knockout, maybe Victor Henry plus 3.5 or a decision. I like Robert by submission. Yeah, Robert Valentin by submission could be a good payoff this week if he gets it. Hit the goddamn like button. It's hard to get traction on these videos, and Weezy deserves to be more popular than a lot of the other MMA cappers, scrubs. Truly appreciate you, man. Those are kind words. We got AWMD saying Tavares and Pat Shin parlay. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I wouldn't parlay those guys, dude. I would not be parlaying Brad Tavares at these prices. Uncle Weezy is hot right now, says Hugo Berry. Appreciate you, man. We got Real Sports Bet Picks saying I have Emmett by decision and LaRon Murphy by KO. There you go. We've got Damare Simpson subbing to the Odd Shopper. My ROI has went from 5.06% to 77.31% or 22.34% without parlays. Best 5 months I've ever had. I love that. And I know that Damare has been with me for a minute, and I truly appreciate you not only making money, but, you know, pimping the service here on my live stream, man. It really means a lot. And I'd like to make a bunch more of you money like I've been making money for Demare. The Uncle Weezy of profits so large they make you queasy, says the soy man. What is up, dude? We got my guy Genova7 in here, producer extraordinaire, saying, respect Weezy. I'm going to be in Chicago this month. What's the best pizza place? Deep dish. It's going to be Lou Malnati's. That's the best deep dish pizza if you want to try that. If you want to go for thin crust, there's a bunch of different places that you can go in the city for thin crust. But dude, if you're going to be in Chicago this month, holler at me, man. Let's get together. Let's go check out some live music. I'll take you around for some pizza or whatever, dude. Let's meet up and have some beers and catch up, Genova. I love your music, and I know that you're a true MMA fan, so we should get together, dude. But yeah, if you're going to go for deep dish pizza, go for Lou Malnati's. If you're going to go for thin crust, I could take you to couple places that I like. Mr. V's on the northwest side of Chicago. Barnaby's Pizzas got some really good stuff out there in Niles, which is right by where my dad used to live when he was still here in the city. So there's a bunch of great places, man. We got First Wave Negativity saying the hair looks great. Appreciate you, man. We got Louis Mack Jr. saying, Uncle Weezy, love the content, sir. Appreciate you for stopping by, man. We got Alex Cruz saying, who is the dog pick? Gerald Mearshart, GM3 is the dog pick this week. Here goes the comment string of craziness, LOL. We got Abdi saying, what up, Uncle Weezy? You're pretty old. Can you give us one fun fact from 1999? Let's see, 1999, I was working on the floor of the Chicago Stock Exchange. I was working for a company called Melvin Securities, and I got fired in 1999 from my job at Melvin Securities. I had a friend of mine who was working at another specialist operation on the floor of the Chicago Stock Exchange. And I wound up starting there the first trading day of January in the year 2000. So I remember going from one job to another and getting fired from Melvin Securities, which was a company that was really, it was not a good company to work for. And my buddy Mike said, hey, you should come interview with my boss. He's been wanting to hire you for a minute. So I was out of work for like less than a week, got a job, first day of 2000, and wound up making more money in the year 2000 than I made in any other year in the financial business. So like, I remember the 1999 to 2000, the NASDAQ markets were rocking. I was working on the floor of the Chicago Stock Exchange, and everybody was making a pile of money that year. So I can give you that. That's what I remember from 1999. Dude, Prince was not fucking around when he said, that we're going to party like it's 1999 because everybody was making a ton of money back then. By the way, I'm so fried. Sorry if that's rude. It's not rude at all. We got Sal Pepitone in the room saying, how late am I? Not that late, dude. There's no time limit here, so you're fine. We got Gozatori in the room saying, take this job and shove it, Parlay. Gonna be huge. Yeah, man. It's not as big this week because it had Kennedy and Chekwu by knockout in there. We got DT Will with the flapjacks. We got Christian Navarez saying, how else are you supposed to get rich? LOL. We got Olajuwon saying, I'm dying laughing at you reading all of this. You damn on, Weezy. We got DFS by the Asylum / Brady's done. What happened to Brady? He's fine, man. What are you talking about? DFS by the Asylum. We got First Wave saying, I'm still mad at Cortavius for losing his last fight. I had a plus 6,000 full card parlay, hit every leg but him. Oh man, my dog pick that week was actually was Bolaños. I thought that line was way too wide, but I was still kind of surprised when Bolaños won it so decisively. GM sub 3, dude, that's the auto bet in every GM3 fight. You got to take GM3 sub 2-3. The KY comments were getting me. We got Remdog saying GM3 finish only -115. I don't mind that at all, dude. I do think that GM3 could get knocked out. I don't think that there's a middleweight on the roster that's not capable of knocking that guy out, honestly. But I think GM3 is going to win this fight, and I think he's going to submit him. And I want to say one thing real quick here. I got a friend that trains over at Valley Flow Striking. My guy, the bookie man that you see in here most days when I'm doing my live stream on Friday. He lost his dad yesterday. His dad passed away, and I wanted to give my most heartfelt condolences to the bookie man. You know, when you lose a parent, it's really rough. I lost my mom back in 2012. It's a life-changing experience when you lose one of your parents. So I know that the guys at Valley Flow Striking are definitely rallying around my guy right now who did lose his dad, and I expect to see if GM3 goes out there and gets a finish and gets on the mic, dedicating that finish in that fight to my friend and his father who just passed away. So, yeah, hug your parents today if you see them. Tell them you love them because you never know when they're going to be gone. So, yeah, just sorry to bring up that bad news, but I just wanted to send my condolences out to somebody that watches the show regularly. We got Nelson Rodriguez saying plus 2,500. Sabatini sub. They're trying to triple my money before weigh-in. Dude, I would, yeah, plus 2,500. Play that. That's a great number. It's a mistake line. Odie will get kicked. You think so? I think he's gonna lose. I mean, but I just hope it takes until round 3. Daz Files. How do I sign up for the other shows? $25 a month is a steal. So Sal, you just look in the description of this video. You're going to see you're going to see a link to my Odds Shopper profile. $25 a month is going to give you access to Balls Deep Breakdowns, which is a 2 to 2.5 hour show every week, and Probability, which is a 2-hour show every week, where you know, it's just for the people on the Odds Shopper community. So link is in the description of this video, or you could go to Odds Shopper, and then when they say find cappers in there, you could just search Uncle Weezy, and it'll come right up, man. It'll be easy to find, and it'll be good. You can get right into the Discord. I post all my track bets there. Links to all the fight write-ups are in there, and we all talk fights and share information, trying to find the best bets of the week. We got Nelson saying caught him early. That's a great fucking catch, Nelson. I hope you hit that, man, because I hope Sabatini submits him. I'll be cashing my plus 205 money line bet. It's best 3-bet parlay, says Rai. That's 3-bet parlay. Let's go with, I'll give you 3 of the legs of my parlay here. We're going to do over 1.5 round, or over 2.5 rounds for Henry versus Falcao. We're going to do the Torres Finney money line, and we're going to do fight doesn't go to decision for Mearshart versus Tavares. Right. That's what you're going to do, man. We got Remdog saying appropriate that dude has Quack in his name. We got Daz saying some peeps in this chat are idiots. Weezy a goat. Appreciate you, man. We got Remdog saying what's up to Daz Files. We got Daz Files saying ignore the 14-year-old Weezy. We got Alexander saying Emmett looked great at weigh-ins. He did, man. I thought he looked really good. Hey, a Remdog says Daz, Emmett a freak or what? Yeah, he's an athletic freak. He's a 40-year-old guy in great shape, man. AWMD said, Emmett said, bet the house. If you become homeless, you can stay at his place. We got fucking shocking is good enough for me. I'm a D-gen. There you go. Good enough, man. Probably drugs, maybe jeans. Yeah. We got don't bet on the fight IQ of 20-year-old debuts. 20-year-old debutantes, debuts. Joe Anderson is the most brilliant. Yeah, it is a very Brazilian. Anybody named Anderson or Joe Anderson, that is a Brazilian right there. Or maybe a Portuguese person too. Colby Saul saying, "Oi." We got Grateful Dude saying, "Oh yes." We got Hey Daz File saying, "Hey Grateful." We got Grateful Dude in the room, one of the oldest members of my Odds Shopper / Patreon community. Appreciate you. We got Carlos Gomez saying the shove it parlay. I'll give it to you at the end. Remdog saying salty balls last fight was hilarious. So sloppy, but fun. Yeah, I've got to watch that, but I didn't get a chance to do it. Slew, do you think Bryce Mitchell is going to win? I think he can win. Really, we got to see what Gene Silva looks like when his grappling game is tested. And Bryce didn't even get off a takedown attempt last time against Josh Emmett. So I think after getting knocked out like that, you're going to see maybe Bryce shooting in the first 5 seconds of that fight. So yeah, Bryce can absolutely out-grapple anybody a lot of these fighters in the division. So I think Bryce Mitchell has got a chance, but I need to tape the fight. I need to write it up. I need to look at all the angles before I come up with an official prediction. Finney has shown pretty good submission defense. I think the fight goes the distance. Yeah, I'm picking Finney by decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was a finish. Yeah, Fat Cat it is a Fat Cat for sure. One of them chunky cats says Alex Cruz. Fun long shot. Romeus round 1, Brito round 2, GM3 round 3. Got the 1, 2, 3 parlay, man. I like it, man. Pequods or lose for deep dish. Yeah, Pequods has got good deep dish too, dude, for sure. Alexander saying that guy Abdi. We got Bet God S saying I turned CBD into THC in my oven with zeolite and ate a ball of it. I think I'm dying. Dude, I don't eat marijuana, man. I only smoke it just because, like, when you eat it, it could be really bad, man. It's just like you can never really smoke enough to get to the point where you just completely fucking are freaking out. But if you eat it, you can get to that point so fast. We got Clark in the room saying, Weez, how does it feel to officially be the most profitable YouTube predictor out of 100 predictors over 12 months? Congratulations. It feels great, dude. It feels great, but it's a lot of work. I don't think it's an accident that I'm up there, because if you look at and I mean, you can ask anybody that's on the Odd Shopper, when you look at the tremendous amount of content that I'm putting out every week, I'm in front of this camera here like 8 hours every single week, 2 to 3 hours for Stat Diggers every Sunday, 2 to 2.5 hours for Balls Deep Breakdowns every Wednesday night, 2 hours for every probability on Thursday afternoon, and then a 1 to 1.5 hour show here on YouTube for free every week as well. In addition to that, I'm writing up 6 to 7 page write-ups for every fight. I spend every Thursday and Friday putting 2 weeks ahead the stats packages and, maintaining the database. I have every UFC fight that's taken place in my database since the year 2013, closing in on 6,000 fights. So the amount of work that I put in to just producing these shows and producing the content that I create for my Odd Shopper people, putting in that kind of work is gonna have good results. So it feels really good, but I also feel like, I'm doing the necessary work in order to gain those accolades the right way. We got Diogenic in the room saying, apologies if you're already taking a look at it earlier in the stream, but Emmett, decision no bet for plus 155 on DraftKings Sportsbook caught my eye. BetOnline has the Emmett line at plus 110. I don't mind it at all, but just remember, like, Emmett by KO was plus 500. So like if he does get a finish, you're going to be leaving a lot of money on the table there. But I do think that Laron Murphy is the better minute winner here. I think he's more likely to have grappling success. He's going to throw more volume. He's longer. So I think he's going to be able to maintain distance striking range fairly well. So I do think that, that's a very safe, it's a fairly safe bet, but I wouldn't be that surprised if Laron Murphy did find a finish here. We got Action Jackson is tuning in while at work. Let's stack tickets like flapjacks. Let's get it, man. Oh, it's the zeolite that can. Okay, I get it, man. Yeah, nobody's ever died from THC, that's for sure. We got Muhammad in there to pray. Prayers up for the bookie, man. Yeah, dude, appreciate you, man. We got definitely hit me up, Genova. Let's do it, dude. Let's do it. We got Sammy saying life tips for young dudes. Sammy, life tips for young dudes. That's a really good question, man. If I mean, other than be serious about what it is that you want to do in life, like everybody has dreams, but the ones who achieve them are the ones who really work towards it. So think about what's important to you and then figure out how to get better at it. And be tougher on yourself than you are on others. Always expect the best from yourself. If you do that, you cannot control what goes on around you. You can control what you put into this life, what you put out there into the world. So if I'm able to go back to being young again, I'm going to work way harder than I did. Like in college, I was fucking around. Like, check this out. This dude here, Swinger, with the picture of me there in the profile. Like, we go back, I met Swing back in 1993. That's when I met Swinger. And we're both members of the Sigma Chi fraternity. We went to the Harvard of the Midwest, Northern Illinois University. And Swinger could come on this stream and tell you some fucking stories about me, about what an idiot I was in college. What a fucking asshole I was. So I could go back and change a lot of things, but I still was successful when I got out of college because I didn't compromise. I wanted to do the things that I wanted to do, and I kind of made sure that I didn't listen to other people around me. I went with what I thought was right. So be serious, work hard. You can't control what goes on around you, but you can control the effort that you put into the things that are meaningful to you. If you really work hard on that, you're going to see things go well for you in life. And then Swinger saying, keep up the momentum going into this weekend. Stack them all up. Appreciate you, Swing. We got Deshaun in the room. Davey Grant out. Prelims not worth watching, but I'll still watch the bet. Yeah, absolutely. We got first wave negativity saying there's overlap, but Brazilian and Portuguese names are different. Nope. Oh, no shit. I didn't know that. I remember watching soccer back in the day, and some of these Portugal teams would have a guy's named Anderson in there. So maybe Joe Anderson is just a Brazilian thing, but I feel like I've seen Portuguese people named Anderson before. Yeah, me neither, man. The Uncle Weezy Discord, you can hook up to the Discord when you go sign up at the Odds Shopper, Clark. Muhammad saying I was high on balls on gummy during either balls deeper probability. There you go. Yeah, man, I'm usually high when I'm on stream too. What do you think of the Demopoulos Sabatini parlay? Let me down easy. I'm picking both. I'm picking Demopoulos to win, and I'm betting on Sabatini. So that'll be a big plus money one, and I don't mind it at all. Kalani saying, how do you feel about my parlay? Last check depends on it. GM3, Lugbunmi, and the Barbosa under 2.5. So I think that hits. I'm picking Barbosa by first round submission. I'm picking Lugbunmi to win. And I'm picking GM3 to win. So I hope it hits for you, man, because it means I'm going to make some money too. Sammy saying, thank you, man. I turned 18 last month. Good, dude. And if you're going to go to college, dude, study something that's going to fucking have some staying power. Don't be a goddamn women's studies major. Don't study fucking human resources or any of that shit. Study math. Study fucking science. Study something that's got an underpinning in reality. That's going to help you make a lot of better decisions later on in life, in my opinion. We got Azuro saying, I'm so sad that the Grant fight got scrapped. See, age don't mean nothing. Yeah, little young gun Santos got scared. The old 39-year-old showed up on weight ready to fight. Yeah. Sativa. Prefers sativa during the day, man, for sure. Anderson isn't impossible, but definitely much rarer in Portugal. Stuff like Vanderlei, okay, is what 100% only in Brazil. Got it. We got Demopoulos by sub is a massive 1,300. I don't think she's subbing Alan Carr unless Alan Carr completely gasses out. I think a knockout is a lot more likely, but I'm picking Demopoulos by decision. We got Hugo saying, what am I having for dinner? I have no idea, but I'm going to eat right now. I haven't eaten anything yet today. I woke up super late because I was out getting stats. If you're on the Odds Shopper, you can look and see that I posted at 4:20 in the morning, the UFC 314 stats package. I work hard, you guys. I'm up late a lot. So, yeah, man, I don't know what I'm having for dinner, but I know that my girlfriend just cooked something, so I'm about to go eat lunch right now. And we got one shot in the room saying, hello, Monsieur Weezy. How do you feel about GM3 getting the most strikes in this fight? Feel like it's the riskiest leg in my parlay. So Let me bring up my stats for you guys here, and let me just show you something that I thought was interesting, and one of the reasons why I bet on why I bet on Gerald Meerschaert this week. And here, there we go. Get this off the screen. Brad Tavares lands 4.3 significant strikes per minute at distance. Meerschaert lands 4.5. So right there, at distance striking range, these guys are very similar in terms of output. They have the exact same striking accuracy, 41.8% at distance. And I think that if this fight goes to the ground, Gerald Meerschaert is probably going to be landing more strikes because he's probably going to be the one in control. So I don't like, I hope you got plus money on that, a good plus money number, but I think that that's got a chance to hit. And we got Azuro saying, I'm putting my money, I was going to bet on Grant. Now all in on Vanessa Demopoulos. I think Vanessa wins, you guys. And I'd be surprised. You know, I mean, how the fuck is Talita Alencar going to beat her? Huh? I don't think so, man. Vanessa Demopoulos around -110. I think it hits. No, not married, but I've been with my partner for fucking 17 years, I think. Maybe 18 in August or something like that. We've been together a long time. I'm not trying to fight Deanna Belbita. You know, I'm old. I'm an old man. I don't fight for free, and she's just not in my weight class at all. So yeah, I'm not trying to beat Diana Belbita in a fight. She would outlast me. I would need an early finish. Otherwise, I'm getting gassed out, and she's probably ground and pounding me out. So no thanks, man. I'm not fighting anybody on the UFC roster, period. You guys, I appreciate you all hanging out. Let's make some money this week. And if you want to make real money, check out the description. Link in the description of the video to the Odds Shopper. I'd appreciate if you guys that do like the show would support the work over there for $25 a month. You're going to get access to a ton of content, a ton of statistics, a ton of benchmarks, a ton of fight write-ups, access to the Discord, all my tracked bets, which are up, 30% return on investment, up 26.4 units thus far, on pace for 100-unit year. So click on the link in the description of that video. Appreciate you guys watching. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. Hit that subscribe. Leave me a comment down below. And I really appreciate everybody that comes along on the Odds Shopper and supports the work. Yeah, totally appreciate you, man. Yeah, just got that out really late last night. And yeah, everybody that's on the Odds Shopper can already start their research for UFC 314. I probably would too, dude. Great show. Appreciate you, Olajuwon. And Deshaun is saying Sabatini, a +190 when Philly is dominating sports at the minute. Yeah, Philly stand up there. They're on fire, dude. Super Bowl champions. The Phillies are looking good. Yeah. So we're going to see how it all goes. But appreciate you guys hanging out. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. Let's stack cashed tickets like flapjacks for UFC Vegas 105. And we will see you next week for Stat Diggers for UFC 314, 9:15 Central Time, Sunday night. God bless you, my man. Let's have a great weekend. Let's make a bunch of money watching these fights, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you.